What are we talking about today?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Did anything
The
happen in WoW?
story! The story.
I guess we should let
What?
Jim do the introduction.
She didn't watch the story reveal, did she?
There's a story reveal.
3, 2, 1.
Prepare for battle, we're diving into a world unknown where legends begin. Jim, Kristen, and Brian guiding the way. In Azeroth we'll conquer, there's no time to delay. Server restarted, we're ready to play. Join us now as we fight day after day. From dungeons to raids, we'll conquer it all. In the world of Warcraft, we'll never fall. Server restarted,
Is it for the story for the War Within? TW2?
It's on our website.
TW squared. How are we gonna refer to the War Within? We can't just refer to it as the War Within. We were talking about that in Discord.
we can't.
TW
we obviously
squared.
can't. Well, what was they calling it? WW1, WWI, like War Within.
War Within.
I'm like, who's in and why are we fighting with them? All right, welcome back to another episode of Server Restart In, a weekly World of Warcraft podcast hosted by three opinionated players who like to get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I am joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about WWI, the War Within. It is the person we are at war with, and I do not know who they are or why.
TW squared.
Yeah. Somebody in one of our Discord things called it WWI.
WWI.
And it was just like, what? World War One?
We've already been there, done that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that again.
You're missing two eyes there.
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out how to refer to it. And I still like TW squared because I'm a big fan of the squared things. So, yeah.
It's because it's hip to be squared.
Yeah, not anymore. Maybe back when Huey Lewis and the News were popular.
They're still popular. What the fuck you talking about? That's great music. Anyway. Yeah, so what we were briefly talking about before is that there was a new animation, like those like 2D art ones that came out.
Oh.
That basically talking about the I don't know if they're Nerubians, whatever, like the spider people, like basically the queen denied the Black Empire, didn't want any part of their power way back in the day.
Right.
And then her daughter's like, why didn't you do it? We could have used it to help our people, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no. And then she was like talking to Xal'atath, and she's like, and the daughter's like, who are you talking to? And she's like, oh, just old ghosts, because, like Black Empire shit. And then the daughter kills her mom, who's the queen, because she too has been talking to Xal'atath, and Xal'atath gave her the power. So that's kind of how, like, the Black Empire part of like the spider people thing is happening.
So Xal'atath got her. So
got her little hook.
So what you're saying is us shadow priests really done effed up by
even bringing that out of the cave.
Yeah. We done effed up. I mean, I'll be
fucked up, Aaron.
I'll be honest. I absolutely really enjoyed Xal'atath as a shadow priest. So
no, the dagger was really cool.
Yeah, less so letting her out of it.
Well, yeah.
That was less cool.
There were some questions about the timing of when the initial Black Empire meeting with them, trying to get them to join their forces was it the fall of the Black Empire, or was it during BFA? Because they talk about the battle of the assault or the battle at Ny'alotha, right? Which, if you think,
hey, we were there.
Well, no, that was the one where we fought in the Zoth, right?
Yeah.
But there's also, isn't there a quest where you go back in time to there? It's in the Time Runners or the Time Walker not time walkers. When you're doing the shit with the Bronze Dragon flight, and you have to like go with the time runners, and you have to go through all the different realities. And you have to go rescue Chromie, because Chromie's fighting the other dragon, the infinite dragonflight dragon.
More something.
No, not
Mordecai.
Morchi. Not Morchi.
Morchi.
No, she's not fighting herself. She's fighting the other one. That's the one that becomes part of our team and all that stuff. Who was mad at the Bronze because they didn't save her sister, and really, they tried all the. You probably didn't do this quest line,
I don't think I did.
but what the fuck was her name?
Oh no.
It wasn't like Epoch or something like that, but it was something like that, like Eternus.
Oh.
Eternus.
Yeah.
And like they're
Oh.
tumbling through time, and you have to go save them. And one of the places they are is Nyalotha.
No, I did do the quest line.
Okay, yeah.
I did that
So
quest
she's
line.
fighting with Eternus in Nyalotha while the elementals are fighting the Black Empire,
Mm-hmm.
which maybe that's not quite when
I do remember
the Black
that.
Empire was fallen, because I thought the Black Empire subjugated the elementals. But then the Black Empire was beaten by...
I did think that was the case as well.
Yeah, and I think the Black Empire was beaten by the Titan Keepers and all that stuff. So, but...
You know,
but Nyalotha's been assaulted a bunch of times.
is there a WoW lore book?
We have 2 of them. The Chronicles?
Yeah.
I think there's like a 3rd or a 4th one
That
out.
we need to buy.
There's a 4th one now, I think.
Yeah,
we
we're a
probably
couple
should
I mean,
read
behind.
those.
haven't they kind of messed up the
Well,
a few of the books so far too?
what they doing is they are basically saying that everything that we know from the game and the stories is basically the Titan Keepers version of history.
We got multiverses.
Not multiverses, different narrators, different perspectives
Oh.
on history, right?
Okay.
Obviously, the victors write the history books kind of thing, so
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
basically kind of frame it.
Right.
But maybe there's other things going on.
It's
stuff
the
like that,
narrative of the Titan.
of the Titans or the Titan Keepers or something like. And the
I
person that's
see.
writing this stuff is like, well, that's what they think happened, and that's what they, that
From
kinda,
their perspective. And
Yeah.
I
So
see.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There were some
But
weird
that
changes.
is a good point, though, that the victors write history, and
Well,
so
it's not even just that. It's like they may not even know what like was really going on. too,
Sure.
It's like could be ignorance as well. So
yeah. But should you really be writing history books if you're ignorant?
listen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a question.
Do you?
If you know that you don't
I
know
mean, everybody's
something,
biased.
if you
Everybody's biased that
if-
writes something like
if,
that.
yeah,
though.
but if you know that you don't know something,
then you're not
should you be-
ignorant of the fact.
should
that
you be commenting on it?
Well, here's the thing, right? History books, right, do not go into every minute detail of every
Yeah.
single thing that happened.
That is true.
There's all these history books about the assassination of JFK, but what really fucking happened?
Aliens.
Exactly.
Aliens.
They just teleported his brain out of there. but
When
you
are
know
they
what I
gonna
mean?
bring it back?
Aliens
Yes.
or the brain?
When are they going to bring back his brain and like put it in somebody else? And then we can have a never mind. I'm gonna stop.
You weren't even
Those
around.
things can get really weird really
I
quick.
was not. Yeah, that was.
I know.
That did not go the way that I had intended for it to go, and so I figured I better just abort like right now. Like
Abort, abort, abort.
Say abort?
Just
Oh my
stop.
God.
Just
Good
And-
Lord.
and that. I'm not saying anything else. God damn, this is a trap tonight.
Now you're putting God into it?
Ah,
Anyway.
God damn it.
Anyway. Yeah.
What do you got against Dan? Are
Anyway.
you anti-beaver?
Oh no. I can't
Sorry.
win.
Nope.
I'm not
Nope,
saying
you can't.
anything. God damn.
Anyway.
Cut that out. Dang it.
No.
So has
No.
anybody played well?
I have
Fancy.
been
Jim?
playing nonstop because let me tell you why. let me.
Well, we already
Because
know.
I'm not.
We already know why you
okay.
play.
Last week, we talked about the pre-patch events,
Oh yeah,
and we talked about how bad they were.
and they're still bad.
I don't
Nope.
think so.
Oh
Okay, so
wait,
they're-
Brian, have you played?
I mean, they're boring. They're
okay,
definitely
they're
boring, but they're not
repetitive,
nowhere near as
but
bad
it
as
is
they were last.
yes. So the way it was when they first came out, 90 minutes between, 3 stages in a zone, 1 chance to kill the boss per 90 minutes, right? The main boss, which is either Lich King, Ragnaros, or Onyxia, obviously.
Obviously.
And so it would start or whatever, and then you would do that. And so they, like the day we were recording last time, they had made some changes. It would be hourly, but I think it was only 2 stages. But then a couple days after that, either the next day or maybe even that day or whatever, it got changed a bit differently. So now that the event for the whole hour will recycle. So what happens is at the top of the hour, a meter fills up, 100% memories remaining. And there's a bunch of different events on the map that you go do that bring that meter down.
Wait, so we are depleting memories.
We're fighting radiant echoes. It's echoes, memories, whatever you want to call them.
So
right?
we are getting rid of people's memories.
No, this is the shit that
She's got. It's like her memories of the world, and they're all misplaced.
Yeah.
Basically.
Who is Azeroth's memories of the
Yes.
world?
They
Yeah.
are just like something's happening and stuff's popping out.
So
And so we're kind of like
mind
dispersing.
wiping her.
You
No,
got
we don't
Hogger
know.
and Searing Gorge, so it's like
Well, that's because it's Eastern Kingdoms, right? So you got the 3 main continents: Eastern Kingdoms, Kalimdor, and Northrend. And each
So-
of the events is something that happened on that continent, right?
So, but
it's
we're
okay. Ask the question.
we're deleting her memories.
We're not deleting it. We're just fighting back the physical representation of something that's happening to the planet. It's not like,
Like
we're
It
deleting
almost
them.
they got it. They framed it like something's going wrong, and so you're trying to like.
So her
Like, she's
her
going-
memories are
Are
like
becoming
manifesting.
yes, and
Oh.
we're like dispersing the manifestation to
Okay.
kind of keep the peace.
Okay.
And
all
so
right,
now-
Okay.
She's kind of like got a war going inside of her.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, wait,
almost like
wait,
it's within.
Almost
That-
like a war within. Oh, boy,
I mean,
they
I wouldn't go that far.
they
That
are
sounds silly.
tricky. They are tricky with their narrative.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
a couple of them are like little event things you do, or some of them are like mini bosses, like the same like Hogger's a mini boss. Stitches is over there as well. It's a mini boss. In Northrend, there's Thorum that you can fight. There's Jaraxxus, which is the demon that the Warlock summons in the Tournament of Champions. Right. And then there's like, just stuff like that. Like stuff from the whole continent is kind of like happening in these like
You get to kiss frogs.
Oh,
that's nobody ever does that one.
I do it every time.
I
But
don't
I'll
know
just
what
go
the-
around kissing frogs.
it's down in the spot where
You just have
Ysera is
to go.
sleeping
Yeah,
in
you just
Dragonblood.
flash kiss.
Huh.
It's obnoxious because I got there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? There's nothing to do here.
You
And
just
Yeah.
didn't run around kissing frogs?
I didn't.
That's all you
One, I
do.
couldn't see any frogs, and 2, I didn't even realize that was what needed to be done. But anyway,
I was nuts.
Brian was
So-
like, give me all your
then,
frogs.
And then once you complete that, then the boss spawns. And it's the same spot every time. It's Arthas, Onyxia, whatever. They have like a shield for like a minute, so that it gives you time to get there, and then you kill them, and then the meter fills back up, and it happens again. So that way, if you're not there right at the top of the hour, you can come in and do it again later. Now, you still get like 200 and something of the things for completing each quest thing, like each little like objective on the map.
Mhm.
I think you get 1400 for the boss. And then there is a warband quest. So each zone has a quest it's a daily that gives you 3000. So you can build up a lot real fast.
And that used to be weekly, right?
It was weekly, but it was weekly per character. And then they made it daily,
Daily
per account.
Yeah.
Per account, which is fine, you know, because
No, I actually like that.
they
better,
up because it
honestly.
was originally 1,500. Now it's like they doubled everything, so you can get the
That's
like
exactly what a pre-patch thing should have been the whole time.
You know
Like,
what's you know what's you know what they could have also done? Made stuff not cost so much. Instead of doubling the amount of currency that you had, they could have just slashed the prices.
It kind of that's true, but I think they kind of mitigated it the same way. It feels better
it does
to get
the
lots
same
of
thing.
stuff, kind of.
well. The
but-
nice thing about it too is that it's transferable, so you can
Sure.
yeah,
it's a fast way to level characters. It's insane.
it is. I can confirm because I took
Oh.
a level 60, I think, that I had boosted, like Shadowlands, maybe. Or below that, I don't remember. It took like 2 days of no more than 45 minutes to an hour for 10 levels.
I
So-
I almost think it's faster than that because okay. So
Well,
okay, no,
excuse
no.
me.
Let me just kind of go through this. There is a.
It's probably
Jeez.
faster because you have more Death Knights.
I'm not
I
even
think-
doing Death Knights. Let me get into this, right? So there
You have
is-
so many hero classes that it just goes faster for
Oh,
you.
for fuck's sake. There is the Dalaran gear, which is like the Dalaran Protector's gear. There's the 4 sets plus all the weapons.
What is
That's
Oh,
just
that's
like
the
the,
stuff
like,
that you
it's the
earn?
catch-up gear and it's like the sets that you can get. But if you're below level
Mustard.
70, you get recruit gear, which is I think the stuff you get from Exile's Reach or something like that. So you don't get like the 483 purple gear or whatever. You get appropriate leveled gear that you can keep getting and stuff like that. But with it, they also introduced the a shield and a tome, which the shields are like one's like the Lion Shield for Alliance, and it's got like the Horde model, whatever. But like, it's not a very common thing, which I got. But the tome can only be, I guess, picked up or not picked up, but gotten by certain classes. And one of the variations of it is from like it's no longer in the game because it's from like a tier 0.5 quest line in one of the old dungeons. So you can't get it anymore except through this. So I made a new paladin to level so I could get the shields, and then switched it to holy so I could try and get the tome, which I haven't gotten the tome. And this dude's already like 60 something, and it was just like from 10 to 60, which is like no. So then I went back and made a mage because mages can get the drop too. So now I'm doing this. This character might be level 30 already. I just made him the other day. It's just stupid. Just trying to go in, and it's just like I'll get done doing it. I'm like, shit, I need to spend talent points. I only have like 12 talent points I need to spend. And it's just
I'm gonna have to do it.
you can so here's the nice thing. There's 3 pets that are 10,000 and a mount that's 20. The mount gives you both mounts for the Horde and Alliance, which is fine. It's nice. So you only need like 50k of the stuff to get it, and with the weekly quest and being able to just kind of grind it if you want to, you have no time at all. I think across all my characters right now I have like 110k of these things right now because I haven't spent anything yet.
Sure.
And I will at the end because I do get gear. The gear drops for the stuff, and I just throw it in my warband bank like it's catch-up gear. But I'll eventually buy all the missing pieces so that I have all the sets and all that stuff. But
I don't think I remember how to play WoW anymore.
I keep telling you to just log in and get your shit set up. But
And then Discord, they were talking about cleaning out their bags and stuff, and I'm like, fuck, I have to do that because I spend because I forget to do it every expansion, and then Jim and I level together, and it's always wait, stop, I have to empty my bag.
it's going to be really fun having 3 days of early access and just having to stop every 5 minutes to empty bags.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
But luckily, the nice thing too is that
We're not going to be able to level together.
we can still do quests. The quests are fine. We won't be able to do.
Dungeons.
Yeah, but we can do delves. Maybe?
Maybe.
Because you walk into those, you don't queue for those.
They need to fix.
Yeah, they really do.
They need to fix freaking. They're like, oh, cross faction guilds, but they're fucking broken. So it's like, what was even the point? You know? Like, you can't do time walking with your guild mates. You can't do random dungeons with your guild mates.
Can't do LFR.
Can't do LFR with your guild mates, even though that's a cross faction thing, isn't it? Is LFR cross faction?
Nothing you
Oh,
queue
maybe
for
not.
is cross faction.
I don't know.
Except
want
for,
LFR, so.
except if you queue for PvP as a mercenary,
Mm.
where it puts you into the opposite faction. But that's like it does like the transform thing, like for BFA,
Yeah. And
which I hate.
I mean, that's fine. You know, they want to make it so you don't have to be with another faction, and that's okay. Just make a fucking toggle.
yep, exactly. They should
You
make a toggle.
Turn it on if you want to queue with people, and you turn it off if you don't want to
You-
queue with people.
you
Wait, what? Then everybody has a choice.
Give her a margarita.
Ugh.
She's got opinions.
I have so many opinions on this one thing because I was so excited
you
when
have
they made.
one opinion on this thing.
Yeah, it sucks. They made it so it sucks. And I was so excited for it. As soon as it happened, I was like, yeah, cross faction stuff. And they monkeys pawed it all up. Like they always do. And it's very frustrating. God damn it. But yeah. Anyway, I'm done complaining. Are you looking up?
I'm looking to see
if they've like even acknowledged the fact that it's an issue?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What?
No, this is all from May. It's basically the same shit.
Yeah. Of course. We have to work hard. We can't do it.
no,
I
Oh, look at this.
I have
They
no.
can't just make it an opt-out option? Exactly.
Yeah. I have no sympathy for them.
For
None.
who?
For Blizzard. None. Because they can do stuff. They just choose not to. That's all. And so I have no sympathy for them because they're choosing to not do something. They're choosing to release something they chose to release something that was half-baked and half-assed. And that was a choice they made, and now they can deal with the consequences of those choices, which is me bitching about it. They don't care, but it's still, something that I can complain about. So, that makes me happy because I'm a woman and I like to complain.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
What is- Wait, what did you say? I was reading.
No, that's a trap. Nope, that's a trap. Don't even get into it.
Don't get into it. That was just me being salty.
Oh, I mean, that's,
What else is new?
yeah. I mean, no, of course not.
I'm not a salty individual. Most of the time. Jim's reading still.
Yeah.
He's not just being silent just because he doesn't want to say anything
So,
about
well,
that.
no,
He's actually reading.
Back in 10.1, Ian said that they couldn't set a date for cross-faction queued content, but it's the next step. However, cross-faction queued content is violating the opt-in mentality that they currently have. They want to move carefully, but they want to move in direction.
What do you mean it's violating the opt-in?
I don't understand that
That
because it's
doesn't
like
make any sense.
you have to. Well, if you make it so that you have to opt in for it, it doesn't violate the opt-in.
That's
mentality.
what I mean. That's what.
It's like
that doesn't make any sense.
All you do is you just make it a separate fucking queue and a checkbox. It's that fucking simple.
Final Fantasy can do it. They can do it.
Final Fantasy doesn't have fucking factions.
They don't need
Yeah.
factions. They have different things, but Final Fantasy has a thing where you can opt in to join a dungeon that's already in progress, or
Oh,
you
that's-
can opt to not do it, right? You click on something and you opt in to do it. So
Yeah.
if Final Fantasy can have an opt-in thing, then WoW can too.
Yeah, wow,
I
steal
mean,
it.
fucking Square Enix is not great with their stuff, with their code. So, I mean, come on now. If they can do it, then Blizzard can do it.
Yeah, they definitely should do it, but
Yeah. They
I don't
definitely
know.
should do it.
anyway, all this basically to say is that the pre-patch stuff has been made a lot better. It's a lot more accessible, and it feels a lot less, FOMO. You don't have to sit there and watch a clock to find out, because it doesn't matter if you're there right on the hour. It's like you can jump in. Odds are people are still doing it. If you miss the boss, you just wait another 15 fucking minutes and he's back up because it don't take that long to do this shit.
That's kind of nice.
It's I don't understand how. I mean, I get it. You want to make it epic. You want to make it feel meaningful. But that shit's out the fucking door.
Nothing feels meaningful in WoW.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're wasting our time. That's because people don't value like putting in time for something. But also the time you put in isn't for a lot of stuff. And
Well,
it's like,
they don't value putting in the time for it because the developers don't value our time.
I mean, it's weird because if you contrast it against like the storyline in BFA for Sylvanas, where there was like a few quests or whatever, depending on which way you went, that you kind of got more story out of it. Like,
yeah, if you were a loyalist.
I mean, that was good. Like,
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't.
it's a little
I-
bitty thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a nugget to the next thing, though. Like, and this is the same thing. But the fact is, like, and I was going through like playing and thinking like this is actually really cool because there's lots of NPC, voices,
Mhm.
coming up on the screen that are old quest text, and
I think it's lazy. I think they just copy pasted code from shit and just dumped it into. No, I'm kidding. Because they had to redo all the models to make them the glowy stuff.
I mean,
and they had to put them in
To
different.
make it so you couldn't recognize Onyxia, obviously.
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 It definitely isn't like the best they could have done, probably, but like
But I mean,
pre-patches
yeah,
are like I'm trying to think back. Like, was there a pre-patch for BC? Like, I don't actually.
no, there was the plague for Lich King. I don't know what happened in BC unless there was some shit around the Dark Portal. 'Cause
I
wasn't
think it was around the Dark Portal. Yeah, I think it was something around the Dark Portal.
Yes, there was Dark Portal stuff.
Because there was also
Yes.
the
Was
Dark
there? Okay.
Portal stuff
Yes.
for Warlords as well.
Warlords. Yeah.
But yeah, and Cataclysm was the elementals assaulted the major faction cities because he was getting ready to pop out, so all the elementals were going crazy. So that was
And
for
then he went
Cataclysm.
around killing everybody.
And then, what was the pre-patch for Mists?
I don't know. I don't think I was playing then.
No, we were always playing it at the beginning of every expansion. What was it? Oh, I gotta look this up. Because Legion was obviously the demon invasions, right? And then
Which is like essentially the same thing. I saw somebody saying online that was like the best one by far, but it's about the same thing.
it's the
You
same
just
shit.
went
You
there
yeah.
and leveled up, like, and so I don't know. Like, there's not much there to be. I think that it's cooler that there is some more attention to detail, like with the old quest text and stuff like that, and the old NPCs popping up.
Yeah. So we did the pre-patch event for BC in Classic because that's where you got that tabard from. The tabard of the Protector. There was Azeroth was under attack, and we were getting stuff from the Dark Portal, right? And you had to go to a bunch of different zones and kill stuff. Wrath of the Lich King was a zombie invasion. Cataclysm was the Shattering. That was the we had the Shattering, which changed a bunch of the whole world. Plus,
Yeah, we got
there
the
was
world
the
for it.
Elemental.
I remember,
Oh,
yeah,
what
because
the
that's
fuck?
what
Hold on.
that made Cataclysm feel like shit because they changed the world before the expansion released.
They changed it in September, and
They
then the
released in
elemental
November.
invasions didn't start until the beginning of November. 2 months later.
Hmm.
And then Operation Nomorangan and Zalazane's fall happened in
They
September.
were
Oh,
like
God.
super short.
Then
super
the
short.
yeah, then the elemental invasion was November 1st, and then the shattering was the 23rd. Mist of Pandaria, Theramore's fall was that what takes place after this pre-patch event dramatized key moments from the pre-patch book Tides of War, which was the bombing of Theramore.
Theramore. Yeah.
I thought that was a fucking I guess that there are scenarios around it.
Yeah.
It was
do you not remember?
it was a scenario.
What- yeah.
The world event. It was a scenario. But was it available in Mists as a scenario that you
Yeah.
could repeat? So that must
Yeah.
and then Warlords was the Dark Iron incursion, which was same shit. Legion was the Demon Invasion and Broken Shore. Right, because we could go to Broken Shore first and watch what's his name get killed. Battle for Azeroth was the War of Thrones. That was where we fought Thorns, not Thrones. What the fuck? That was the one where we went and fought Undercity shit. Obviously, this doesn't have anything for the Shadowlands one, which was another zombie thing like in Northrend and all that stuff. And then that was Shadowlands, and then Dragonflight was the elemental invasion, like the big elemental shit that happened in the couple of places, like out like was it the Barrens? Is that the one? Because it wasn't in Durotar. It was right outside of there. So I think it was right over in the Barrens. There was a couple of them, and so now we got this, and like they eventually just turn into like things to go do stuff at, like. There was no like lasting impact like there was, I think, for like the zombie invasion for Lich King, right? It's like you could turn into a zombie and then turn other people into zombies and shit. And
Yeah.
like go around to do stuff, and I don't know. They've gotten to the point where
I
it's
mean-
just okay, cool.
I mean,
here's something
they're
you
all the
can-
same. They all get old. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
a matter of like running around and, getting leveling up stuff.
I
Because
wouldn't
like
say-
it
I don't
wasn't.
think-
It was BFA pre-patch was another one that was like super. Legion and BFA both their pre-patches were like super go
Yeah.
level up stuff.
Yeah. And I don't think Lich King was quite like that, because I don't think at that time you had like the power
No.
creep like you did. I'm sorry.
The only thing cool.
I said Lich
Sorry,
King,
go ahead.
right? I didn't
Yes.
mean, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't say Legion. They both start with L.
No, I was gonna say that was the one where you go chase the obelisks things around when they pop up around the world. The coolest thing about that was that you could get that little shadow toy thing
Which
where you just keep it in your.
Yeah. Which you could get another one for Legion, a similar one.
Yeah.
Which, and like the little shade follows you and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like that event sucked too. It wasn't
Yeah,
fun.
but I mean,
Um,
it felt more like holy shit, something's fucking happening kind of thing, whereas this is just kind of like, oh, these things are popping up and we just kind of swat them down and move on with life, and it's just like it doesn't really
I don't
feel
know.
like story
I think
driving.
I think it's pretty fucking similar. I think the hard thing is though is it's like it is a pretty big pivot in the story in a way that's not anchored really to something else that we previously have known about beyond like the spiderly people, right?
Yeah.
Because and maybe the Arathi, but even the Arathi, whatever, like we didn't really get much detail, I don't think, beforehand about it, right? Like
Yeah, we don't know any, like they give us the players information, but in game, all we know right now is that Azeroth wants us to go somewhere, but Magni can't, or Magni, right? Yeah, can't tell us because he's unconscious, and Azeroth's acting a fool.
I mean, he
and-
deserves it, right? Like,
Oh, he's
he's being
such a
dick.
whiny bitch. He was. You're gonna see that when you log in and like when you're doing the initial quest,
Maybe
just
I'll
pay attention to what he says.
log in.
No, because you got to listen to it.
What?
It's
It's
super-
tomorrow.
Super-
oh, tomorrow I think you said.
super
Yeah, sorry.
party.
Yeah,
No,
it's just
tomorrow.
like you're gonna hear
Oh.
this fucking whiny ass baby.
Is it gonna be like,
Well, you don't joking to me.
like
It's like I'm doing it for you, not
Oh,
for
yeah, no, it's-
her.
It's about right on par with Tarunda.
Great.
It's like he's just such a child. He's like, oh my god, you left me a diamond. Ugh. Like
Yeah.
the least you could have done is turn me back into
That was
flesh.
my girlfriend.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So
He's like,
annoying.
she doesn't say anything to me anymore. She's like, she just ghosted me.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
I
no,
call-
it's actually like.
She
yeah.
left me on red.
Oh no. Oh no.
And he's just
Ew.
butthurt about it. And it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, you disappeared. Nobody knows where you're at. They just assume you're there and you just happen to be there. It's like, go out into the world. What the fuck? Nothing's going to
And
hurt you. You're made of diamonds.
Seriously, like Azeroth can literally see him shitting diamonds when he goes to the bathroom, and so like, how much do you really want to sit and talk to that person, right? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I really don't know if I like the in-game version of Anduin either. It looks kind of weird.
Oh?
they changed him to be like, I don't like Final Fantasy-ish or something. He looks like a
What?
character from like Final Fantasy. Was it like 10? Like
They tried
it's
to
like
make
PlayStation 2
They
graphics,
try
but
to
like
make him.
look like haggard. You know, like, okay,
Yeah.
so you got the video, the really
he looks
good
very,
CGI
very
video.
different though. Is the problem
Yes.
like?
Well, they changed it too because apparently, like, I don't know if they gave him more of a chin or something. Like they changed the model before it came out, but like in the cinematic where Thrall's talking to him and stuff like that, he looks tortured. Like he's got this internal conflict, almost one could say a war within himself, and
Oh,
TW squared.
and it's just like they tried to convey that same thing into like an in-game model using that stuff, and it just didn't work. He just like his face is just like weird. Like they tried to give
Jim-
him like the scraggly beard stuff, and it just doesn't work with the stuff. It's like the only like in game, it's either 5 o'clock shadow or a full beard, right?
yeah.
It's like if you try to do anything in between, it just looks shitty.
That sucks.
So it should have been like kind of like a scrappy like 5 o'clock shadow looking thing, but like I don't know, it's just weird looking. I
Man,
don't know.
Blizzard effing up all around.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, I'm still having fun doing the stuff. I'm just trying to I want to get that fucking tome transmog, so I'll be making and deleting characters until I get it.
Wait,
They're
can't you just do it on a character that?
once you hit level 70, it only drops for characters that are lower.
Oh.
It's not even anything they advertise. I think they just threw in lower level gear, and it just happened to be something that's no longer really like available
Obtainable.
in the game, and they just picked that and put it in there
That's really
and
stupid.
didn't put it out there. You can't buy it
Yeah.
for this stuff. It's just has to be a fucking drop. And I swear to fucking God, they lowered the drop rates for shit because shit's just not dropping anymore. It's like I'll get like a piece of gear like every 5 levels, and it's never a fucking offhand. Get fucked. But I got the shield, so I mean, not like I'm ever gonna fucking use it, but I gotta fucking have it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just learned to let it go, like Elsa.
Let it go.
Yeah. Just call me the Elsa of WoW. I used to be like, I got to get all this shit. Now I'm just kind of like, I don't even fucking care because I'm not going to use it. You know what I mean? I have
Oh.
my transmogs that I like, and they're not gonna change, and so I don't really have a reason.
I know,
to,
but-
like, who cares? It's not gonna kill me to,
Speaking of transmogs, they added an API for transmog stuff now, so that third-party sites can use it. So you can see.
Oh, cool.
So like I just saw that. So like
So you can-
simple
what-
armory. So you could go one place and just look at everything instead of having to like change all the drop downs and stuff. I don't know how. It's just an API to access your accounts like transmog stuff. So that
the
you
only
can,
stuff that you have available, or in the entirety of the game.
in your account. I'm assuming that you can, if you go into the thing, you can see what's available and what you have and what you don't have. You got the collected, not collected flags
Right.
in the armory. So I would assume that would be, I haven't looked at the API.
I mean, didn't you already have access to all that stuff in the?
Yes, but you had to, if you wanted, like, you have your class and then you had to change classes. Like, you have it now, but, like, you never had anything outside of the game in which you could view this stuff. So, you know how, like, I don't know if you ever went to Simple Armory, but it would show you all, like, your mounts and all. It's a nice little website. You can see what mounts you have, what mounts you don't have, where they come from, what achievements, all this other kind of stuff that, like, for collection purposes. Think of like WoW Juju or Juju WoW or whatever the hell it was, where you could track your reputations and see what you needed to do to up them. It's kind of like that, but it would be for like transmogs, and especially since they're account wide now,
Right.
it'd be nice to have it all in one place, have everything in one place with detailed ways on how to, or locations or whatever. I don't know, but that was just a neat little thing that you can tie into. Not that I'm ever going to do anything with it, but
Meh.
I just thought it was nice, neat little thing.
Mm.
I mean,
I saw the term API and I was like, oh, coding. I do that.
oh, fun.
They did with the warband changes, they also made it so that people who were eligible for the Warlord's Death Wheel. Do you remember when there was that legacy mount that you could get and it was available?
Thought it was the Mechagon mount for the Mechagon achievement.
No, the
The Death
Warlord's
Wheel.
Death Wheel. I'm pretty sure that was the one that you got when they did like the motorcycle competition, and you had to be an active player during the time to be eligible for it, and then you had to claim it and all that stuff in game. It was during MOP, and it's basically it's got the two treads and the motorcycle. It was one of those ones
Oh,
from
yeah, yeah.
2014. Well, apparently what they've done is if your account was flagged as being eligible, but you never logged in to get it to claim it, it just shows up now.
Oh.
So like people,
Nice.
which is good for people that were whatever, they weren't there for it. Like you were initially supposed to get it, or you didn't log in, or a bug caused something to not happen. It shows up now. So that was kind of a nice little, like, probably a fucking side effect.
Of something.
Yeah.
Funny.
On the 13th, in 5 days, patch 11.02 is going live, which has a bunch of class changes from the beta and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like druids, healers are getting a big boost on healings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frost DKs are getting nerfed.
It annoys me
I see it.
because if we're getting a big boost in healing, it's because we were shit.
No,
And
well-
that just annoys the crap out of me because it's
No. What I think it is that they had a release, like 11.0 dot whatever, for the pre-patch. And that was what was pre-patch. they've been continually doing their tuning in the beta and all that stuff. And they said, okay, well, this one's going to come up. So these are the class changes that are coming from the beta that were, like, so that there's people complained initially that there were a bunch of class changes that were on the beta that didn't come out with the pre-patch. Now, granted, usually when the pre-patch comes out, all the stuff that's going to be in there when it's live is there, right? It's like the new systems, the class changes that are going to be there or whatever. Why they decided to segment it this time, I don't know if it was just because they were continually working on it and they didn't want to rush it. So they just said, okay, well, here's going to be this. And then, we'll do some, this will probably be the last one before it goes live. I don't know if there'll be a patch on the early access day, for like the final stuff or something like that. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe there aren't going to be any more. But, it's just, this is the part of the season that's not, or this is the part of the game where it's just kind of like, it doesn't matter as much because, nobody's trying to do things. I don't know. I don't know.
Me either.
But, yeah, I don't know. I kind of touched on everything I think I had looked at. I think pre-patch has gotten better, but that's, if you weren't there in the beginning, you won't know how bad it was, so.
That's okay. I'm okay with
Bad
not knowing
enough
how bad it was.
Not to play. So what's our countdown then? Where are we at?
Oh, do we have a countdown?
There's less than 2 weeks on Remix. And then the 22nd or
Yeah, it sucks.
the 22nd is early access and the 26th is live for everybody else.
It sucks because classes start that week, and it's like, God damn it,
And
Yeah.
was the early access limited? Is that what we
If
talked
you
about
bought
before?
a certain level, I think the top tier one.
which
It's
whatever.
limited? What do you mean?
Oh yeah, you can only level. You can't do dungeons or anything like that.
Oh, gotcha.
You get early access into the content to do like story quests and stuff like that. It's a leveling thing. It's not. You can't do dungeons. You can't do mythics. You can't do.
Can you get to what, 80? Like before?
I don't
it-
know. I mean, I imagine that somebody will be level 80 within 6
That
hours.
Oh,
feels
of course.
bad, kinda actually.
No, what do you mean? That somebody could be level 80?
Well, don't they do like Rome first and all that shit? Like,
I don't think so.
I thought that
Alright.
for some reason they were getting rid of that, or they.
I
had
haven't
gotten
seen
rid
a,
of it,
a
or-
realm first level 80 in forever.
technically, we already had it.
We did already have a realm first level 80
Yeah.
back
don't-
in
I don't-
ICC.
I mean, knowing them, they probably traded it for more money, right? Like, well, let's get rid of the achievements and just put it into the highest bundle, and we make people feel bad for not leveling up before early access is done.
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know how it's going to play out. This is the first time they've done this.
I'll probably no life it just so I can get it done just for one character fast. So that way
Yeah.
I don't have to play.
I'll be-
I'll at least
I'll be level 80 by Friday
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, I'll probably
I swear,
we'll have to buy like a whole bunch of snacks and stuff and just no life it.
This is my prediction. I'm going to be old and alone in
Nick.
WoW
Oh,
because
Because he refuses to go to the superior MMO, which is Final Fantasy 14.
it is not a superior MMO. It is
Ah.
boring as shit.
It's
Boring.
no.
If I wanted to play a cutscene simulator, I would
know.
definitely do that. But no, I don't like to have a fucking cutscene between every fucking minute stage.
I mean,
in
once
the
you get
goddamn
through the
quest.
story,
Yeah.
once
It
you get
drives
through
me
the
nuts.
story, it's
Every fucking quest has like 12 cutscenes.
yeah, I know.
It
There's
doesn't
a
matter if
lot.
it's main quest or side quests.
Excuse me, there was a lot in this expansion. Even
How far
I.
are we out on Ashes of Creation?
Is that even a thing still?
Yes,
It is.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
it is.
Which one is that? That's not the Amazon one's New World, right?
No, Amazon's New
No.
World. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
oh, chopping trees in New World was awesome, but everything else.
Chopping trees in New World was fucking awesome. I concur. It
It
was.
was cool.
It was. They had a great sound for it. It felt
Oh.
good. Like chopping trees. That must have
It
been where they
actually
put all
felt
their
like
development
a
time.
persistent world too, like where you could
Yes.
just go chop the trees, and then you realize that there's actually like progression and shit, and
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. You mean I actually have to spend hours and hours and hours chopping these trees? Oh wait, you mean I can't
would
chop?
spend
I can't chop
all
this
the time
one
chopping trees.
right next to the one that I was just chopping because I need to be level 40 to chop this one where I'm just level 10. Like that was
See,
A little
that's
frustrating.
stupid. Because you don't have to
I mean,
be a
just kinda like
goddamn
picking
fucking level.
flowers.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
a level of anything to fucking chop a tree down. You just need to have an axe.
You can get a hatchet and start trying.
You could get a hatchet and you could chop a tree down with a hatchet. It would take a lot longer.
What if it's not sharp?
You could still do
I
it.
got one of those hatchets in the garage. No, sir, you cannot.
Yeah, you absolutely could. It's just a wedge. You apply enough force to that, you can start taking chunks out of a tree. It would take a long ass fucking time.
Yeah.
It's not gonna take
What
as
an awkward conversation we've stumbled upon.
yeah.
yeah, who wants to talk about fucking wood?
And
Fuck
wedgies.
trees.
Yeah. Fuck them trees. Axe them all. All right.
Oh my
Thank you,
God.
everybody.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You can check us out at facebook.com/. I haven't done that. God damn.
.com.
Yeah,
I liked that. That was good. You should do it like that all the time.
I'm sorry. It's serverrestartin.com.
.com.
And we're on most major streaming things and as well as
Three.
YouTube Music.
2,
What?
1.
.com.
God damn. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And yeah, send us your favorite fish and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Actually.
.com.